The old Tony Hawk's Pro Skater series has always had their gameplay down since the first title, and have built and innovated on top of that to elevate the gameplay, adding new features between titles that allowed the bold to further extend their combos to chase high scores that once seemed impossible. This was perfectly brought to life with Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2, and has only further been proven to be the case with 3 and 4. This is just going to be some pros and cons about the game, but I wanted to express that I have lightly played the original 3 and very little of 4 when I was younger. So this perspective on the game is coming from someone who isn't driven by nostalgia and hope they did the game right. The main thing anyone who wants to enjoy Tony Hawk's games is asking really is, does it play well? And after the slam dunk that was 1 and 2 remake, I can say it's carried that charm over perfectly. This game took what was established previously and builds on it, with the gameplay bringing light to you as the star of the show, the centre of attention. Whether you are learning the controls for the first time and just managing to land tricks, or perfectly stringing together 6-minute combos filled with gaps, specials and a variety of everything else in your toolset, it always feels smooth, precise, finely tuned and crafted to perfection. For me, it always feels like a chaotic scramble to achieve as much as I can while never focusing anything in particular, and only beating the score related challenges because I was doing tricks around the place. But for others, they can really nail out the entire list in one run. Unfortunately for me, Tony Hawk's games, you don't notice the gameplay unless it's going wrong. When it's perfectly working as it should, its gameplay is overlooked. So I'm happy to say that I had zero issue with this game when it came to the actual gameplay. Everything was smooth and the controls felt tight as I flipped in and out of tricks, grind to my heart's content, and reverting back into manuals after dropping into a ramp. The game just works and it's beyond incredible in terms of gameplay. The maps all look incredible. Obviously they will when compared to what inspired them or what they're based off, but god, it looks insane to see the difference. I'll focus on the positives here as I have some things to say about Pro Skater 4 maps later on, but I'm overjoyed that all the Pro Skater 3 maps are faithful remasters, with flair and vibrancy brought to the table. Each and every map across both games is a blast to work around, collecting skate, items, performing specific tricks on set objects, and above all else, hitting those scores. They've even placed secret tapes, cache and stat upgrades in areas around each map that encourage you to explore and discover different routes. It brings these tightly created maps together that allow expressive freedom to create that perfect line of tricks. From the internal layouts of all the maps, you can see a particular rail that leads to a bench or a ramp that you can transfer over, and this is one option of pathing. And it's kind of the best thing about Tony Hawk's maps is when almost every single piece of environment branches off into a multitude of different directions and options, with you being the director of what path you take. So you have 2 stores in this game, one for your standard outfits and board related cosmetics, just overall standard cosmetics, and then the secret store. The secret shop is packed with a multitude of different things that allow you to tamper with the new visual effects and characters. Michelangelo from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Bam Margera, who felt like a weird choice as he was actually present in the original Pro Skater 3 and 4, but I looked into it, Tony and Bam met up, skated, Bam's life seems to be going well after years of difficulties. So Tony got in touch with the devs and Bam was flown out the next day to get scanned and put into the game, which explains why he doesn't have as much attention put in as the other pros. Huge win, and love to hear that Bam is getting back on his feet and doing what he loves with skating. Another secret skater is Andy Anderson, who is a unique styled skater who is super versatile. No idea why he's a secret shop character, but he made the game, and from a quick Google search a lot of skaters are super happy he made it in. Other than the skaters, you have FX effects that give your skateboard some extra flair. Cubes, smoke, lightning, fire, love hearts as you skate around, just kind of following around you. You also have cosmetic collections that give you more razzle dazzle when it comes to your skateboard and outfit. Having a board that is made of ice, gold or changing colour material, but your outfit can also have a similar effect too. I personally just went with this standard comic style one with kind of colour tone on the outer edges. Personally, these things aren't for me. If you're a lover of FX packages in games, then you're having plenty to choose from. Multiplayer this time around has crossplay, and has kept pretty much everything the same as what was in 1 and 2 remake. Skating with friends and competing in a variety of game modes or just free skating around and enjoying the company are both enjoyable and seamless. I will say that multiplayer is filled with very capable skaters, so try not to set your expectations too high and just go have fun. Who knows, maybe you'll just pull a win off somewhere along the lines. Now let's address the issue here. This isn't a fully faithful remaster of Pro Skater 4. as they've gutted out the heart of what the game brought to the table and crafted its remake in a compressed version of itself, with a list of goals to complete in a 2-minute window that we experienced in its prior releases. I feel like this makes sense, as it would kind of feel weird going from a 2-minute slot to open world, but at the same time I believe that the first 3 Tony Hawk's Pro Skater games should have been like a trilogy collection, as they were all in the same vein when it came to tackling challenges within that 2-minute time frame. Secret characters are fun. I love that you can play as Doomguy and a Revenant from the Doom series. Obviously they wouldn't be able to bring back Wolverine and Darth Maul without paying Disney a ton of money to do so, which I'm happy they didn't do, as checking the price on Steam and Xbox, this game is £40, in a world filled with companies asking $60. It's nice to see that they didn't follow suit and they put it out for $40. Personally, I don't think it would be worth any more, but this is where an issue comes in for me. For some reason the Digital Deluxe package is an extra £20. This includes early access for 3 days, which is over now, 2 skaters being Doomguy and a Revenant, Doom themed songs, customizable options with your clothing and deck, and a modern Doom style skateboard. It's just simply not worth £20 at all. If this stuff was included in the base game and sold at £50, it would have been easier to accept, but it wasn't, and this small handful of content is being sold for half the price of the full game. It's bizarre and it feels really grubby, but it is what it is. Now, I personally think they found a good balance between newer songs that they put into the game to line up with the older soundtrack, and while not every song is a banger in my eyes, I can still sit there and enjoy it and not have to skip through half the playlist. But if you're looking to relive that nostalgia with 2 games intertwined soundtrack, then you're going to be really disappointed, as out of the 69 songs that could have been picked from, only 10 tracks from the original games made it into the final release. Now, licensing can be horrific, and asking prices can be crazy, so I do get this, but also the fact other songs were selected to give a different yet familiar feeling when skating around. I don't know, unfortunately it just seems like one of those situations where you just can't win. My personal opinion on this game is it's good. It's a blast to play, tons of fun, and easily gives you that dopamine hit you're looking for when pulling off sick tricks, mad combos, and smashing out high scores in newly brought to life locations. It's a nostalgia trip for sure, but if you're nostalgic for Pro Skater 4, this is a harder sell, as you aren't getting the remake experience with this one, but more of a reimagining in the previous title's format. But if you've never experienced Pro Skater 3 and 4, this is just as welcoming as the 1 and 2 remake, with an easy to learn control and incredibly high ceiling to master. What it's to be a Pro Skater across multiple maps that allows you to ride the way that you like. Thank you for listening to me just ramble about this game. I was super excited about it, and while there are a few letdowns here and there, the game's still a fun experience and that's what I enjoy, so I appreciate you just hearing me out. Anyway, I hope you have a lovely day and or evening, and I'll catch you next time.